I touched her skin and felt the cosmos whisper secrets no man should know. They told me I was sent to fix a glitch in the prison station's core, a routine job for a nobody technician like me, but standing here now, on the jagged edge of Sector Venus. I know it was a lie. Erinder isn't just a prison, it's a labyrinth of shadows and secrets, and I'm the idiot who walked right into it. I'm Corian Vane, 29, a man with a rap sheet of bad decisions and a toolbox heavier than my hopes. Sector Venus is where humanity dumps its rejects, and this station is the final stop before the void swallows you whole. My boots clang against the metal floor of a sterile corridor, the air thick with the scent of rust and something sweeter, like decay dressed up in perfume. The walls pulse with bioluminescent veins, glowing faint green, moving like they're alive, watching me. I thought I was alone when the shuttle spat me out with a hiss and a cryptic warning. Don't trust the silence. The pilot didn't explain, just sealed the hatch and left me to the darkness. Erinder is a cage for the worst, traitors, madmen, souls too broken for Earth's tidy systems. But it's more than that. It's a vault for things we're not meant to understand, and I'm starting to think I wasn't sent here to fix anything. My tool case bangs against my thigh, heavier than it should be, as I move deeper into the station. The lights flicker, casting shadows that twist and shift like they're alive. I stop, my breath catching. Someone's here. I feel it, a prickle on my neck, like I was drilling into my skull, peeling back my thoughts. You're late, Corian, a voice says, low and smooth, like silk sliding over a blade. I spin around, heart pounding, but the corridor seems empty. No, not empty. She's there, at the far end, leaning against a console. Leia. Her name was in my briefing, but no file could have prepared me for her. Her eyes are silver, like liquid starlight, catching the neon glow of the station. Her suit clings to her, a seamless blend of fabric and something else, something that shimmers like it's breathing. Her hair, black as the void, falls in waves that seem to swallow the light. She doesn't move, doesn't speak again, but I feel her gaze, heavy and invasive, like it's slipping under my skin, rooting around in places it doesn't belong. You said that out loud, right? I ask, my voice rough, trying to mask the unease crawling up my spine. I take a step toward her, but the air feels dense, pushing back against me. She tilts her head, a faint smile curling her lips, but she doesn't answer. Her silence is a void, pulling at me, demanding I fill it with questions I'm afraid to ask. I want to know who she is, what she is, but my thoughts tangle, like wires short-circuiting. You're not alone, Corian. The words bloom in my mind, not mine, but hers, soft and uninvited, like a whisper from inside my skull. I freeze, my pulse hammering so loud I'm sure she can hear it. Did I imagine that? No. She's still there, her eyes unblinking, glowing brighter now, like the veins in the walls, pulsing in sync with something I can't see. Stop that. I snap, louder than I mean to. Whatever you're doing, just stop it. Doing? Her voice is real this time, smooth and teasing, but her lips barely move. I'm just standing here, Corian. She steps closer, her movements fluid, almost inhumanly precise. The air between us hums, charged with something electric, something dangerous. I want to back away, but my feet are rooted, betraying me. Her scent hits me, metal and jasmine, sharp and sweet, like a drug I didn't ask for. It's dizzying, and I hate how it makes my head spin, how it makes me want to lean closer even as every instinct screams to run. I'm here to fix the core, but she's the glitch, worming into my thoughts, making me question what's real. You're the technician, right? She says, her voice curling around me like smoke, heavy and intoxicating. The core's been unstable. But you already knew that, didn't you? Yeah, I mutter, trying to anchor myself in the job and something solid. That's why I'm here. To fix it. Her smile widens, but it's not warm. It's knowing. Like she's reading a script I haven't seen, like she knows how this ends, and I'm just stumbling through the opening act. You're here for more than that. Her voice again, not spoken but thought, slipping into my mind like a thief. I clench my fists, my nails biting into my palms, the pain grounding me. She's doing this. Somehow, she's inside my head, pulling strings I didn't know I had. I want to demand answers, to shake her until she explains, but her presence is a weight, pressing against my chest, stealing my breath. Stay out of my head, I say, my voice low, almost a growl. I don't know what you are, but I'm not here for your games. Games? She echoes, stepping closer still. She's too close now, her face inches from mine. Her silver eyes hold me, and I feel like I'm falling into them, drowning in a sea of molten light. You think this is a game, Corian? You're in, Irinder Dash. Nothing here is what it seems. Her words hang heavy, laced with a meaning I can't grasp. I want to push her away, to break free of her gaze, but my body won't move. Her hand brushes my arm, a fleeting touch through my suit, but it's like a spark, electric and unnerving, burning through me. Is she flirting? Manipulating me? Or trying to warn me? The uncertainty is a knife in my gut, twisting with every second she's near. Her scent lingers, wrapping around me, and I hate how it pulls at me, how it makes my pulse race even as fear claws at my chest. Follow me, she says, turning and gliding down the corridor. Her movements are predatory, graceful, and I'm drawn after her, like a ship caught in a tractor beam. The veins in the walls pulse faster as we pass, their glow intensifying, and I swear I hear a low hum, like the station is alive, breathing in time with her steps. My tool case bangs against my thigh, a reminder of why I'm here, but it feels distant, irrelevant. Leia is the mission now, whether I like it or not. We pass through a series of corridors, each one narrower, the walls closing in, their bioluminescent veins throbbing like a heartbeat. The air grows thicker, heavier, the sweet rot stench stronger with every step. I try to focus on the job, on the core, but Leia's presence is a constant pull, a gravity I can't escape. She doesn't speak, but I feel her in my head, her thoughts brushing against mine like whispers in a dream. You're looking for answers, but you're afraid of what you'll find. I shake my head, trying to push her out, but it's like trying to push back the tide. What is this place? I ask, my voice rough, needing to break the silence. It doesn't feel like a prison. It feels alive. She glances back, her eyes catching the neon light, glowing brighter for a moment. It's more than a prison, Corian. It's a mind, she says, her voice soft but heavy, like it's carrying secrets too big for words. A mind. I scoff, but the word sticks, burrowing into my thoughts. You're saying the station's alive? Aren't you? She counters, her smile sharp, teasing, but her eyes are serious, searching. Feel it. It's in you too. Her voice in my head again, uninvited, and I stumble, catching myself against the wall. The surface is warm, slick, and it quivers under my touch, sending a jolt of panic through me. Stop doing that, I say, my voice shaking. I don't know how you're getting in my head, but stop. She steps closer, her face inches from mine again. Her scent overwhelms me, metal and jasmine, and I'm dizzy, caught between fear and something else, something that makes my blood run hot. You're letting me in, Corian, she says, her voice low, almost a whisper. You want to know me. You want to understand. I want to deny it, to tell her she's wrong, but my throat tightens. Her eyes hold me, and I feel like she's seeing every thought, every doubt, every flicker of desire I'm trying to bury. Her hand brushes my chest, a deliberate touch, and the contact sends a shiver through me, electric and alive. Is she playing with me? Or is this something else, something deeper? I can't tell, and that uncertainty is a weight, crushing me. We reach the core chamber, a vast, cavernous space dominated by a pulsing reactor. Its surface crawls with those bioluminescent veins, glowing brighter here, their rhythm slow and heavy like a dying star. The air is humid, thick with that sweet rot stench, and it clings to my skin, making it hard to breathe. I set up my tools, trying to focus on the diagnostics, but Leia's presence is a distraction I can't shake. She stands nearby, silent, her silver eyes watching me with an intensity that makes my hands tremble. You're not ready for this. Her voice in my head, soft but insistent, like a warning I don't understand. What's wrong with the core? I ask, not looking at her, my fingers fumbling over the console. The readings are chaotic, energy spikes, systems flickering like they're fighting to stay alive. This isn't a glitch. It's something else, something wrong. It's not broken, she says, her voice closer now, right behind me. I feel her breath on my neck, and my skin prickles, a mix of fear and something I don't want to name. It's awake. Awake? I turn, and she's there, too close, her eyes locked on mine. Her scent fills my lungs, and I'm dizzy, my pulse racing. What does that mean? You'll feel it, she says, her voice soft but heavy with meaning. Don't fight it. Her voice in my head again, softer now, almost tender. I shake my head, trying to clear it, but it's like she's woven herself into my thoughts, a thread I can't cut. Stop that, I say, my voice breaking. Stay out of my head. She tilts her head, her smile faint but sharp, like a blade catching the light. You're the one letting me in, Corian. You want me there. Before I can respond, the station lurches. Alarms scream, red lights flashing across the chamber, bathing everything in a bloody glow. The core's pulse quickens, the veins in the walls glowing brighter, almost blinding. I check the console systems are shutting down, one by one, the AI core offline. This isn't a malfunction. It's a collapse, like the station's turning against itself. What the hell's happening? I shout, my hands flying over the controls, trying to stabilize the core, but the readings are a mess, spiking and dropping like a heartbeat gone wild. Leia doesn't move. She stands there, calm, her eyes fixed on me, unblinking. It's waking up, she says, her voice steady, almost serene, like she's welcoming it. Waking up? What does that mean? I'm frantic now, the alarm's deafening, but she's unshaken, her calm unnerving, like she's part of whatever's happening. You'll see, she says, stepping closer. Her hand rests on my shoulder, and the touch is both cold and warm, grounding and disorienting. Don't be afraid. Her voice in my head, soothing but insistent, like a lullaby laced with poison. I want to pull away, but I can't. Her presence is a tide, pulling me under, drowning me in her. The station shakes again, harder this time, the walls groaning like a beast in pain. The veins pulse wildly, and I hear it, a low, guttural sound, like a heartbeat, but not human. It's coming from the core, from the walls, from everywhere. I try to restart the AI, but the console sparks, and the screens go black, leaving us in the flickering red light. Leia's still there, watching me, her eyes glowing brighter now, like they're part of the station's pulse, part of its heart. We need to get out of here, I say, grabbing my tools, my voice unsteady. The core's going critical. This place is falling apart. There's no running from this, Corian, she says, her voice soft but firm, like she's stating a fact I can't escape. She steps closer, her hand sliding down my arm, and I feel that jolt again, electric and alive, burning through me. You're part of it now. Part of what? I snap, pulling away, but her touch lingers, like a brand on my skin. What are you, Leia? What is this place? She doesn't answer, just watches me, her eyes unreadable, glowing like stars in the void. You'll understand soon. Her voice in my head, clear and sharp, and I stumble back, my mind reeling. The alarms grow louder, the station shaking violently now, and that heartbeat is everywhere, pounding in my chest and my skull. It's not just the core. It's her. It's me. It's everything. Come with me, she says, turning toward a side corridor. I don't want to follow, but my feet move anyway, drawn to her like a moth to a flame. The corridor is narrow, the walls pulsing faster, the air thick with that sweet rot stench that makes my stomach churn. I hear whispers now, faint and distorted, like voices trapped in the walls, calling my name. Corian, stay, they're not hers, but they feel like they're coming from her, through her, like she's a conduit for something bigger, something alive. We pass through a maintenance bay, the equipment abandoned, covered in a thin layer of that same glowing slime from the walls. I stop, my breath catching as I notice a panel, half melted, etched with scratches that look like words. I lean closer, my heart pounding. Their names, dozens of them, carved into the metal, some smeared with what looks like dried blood. Crew members? Prisoners? I don't know, but the sight makes my skin crawl. Leia doesn't stop, doesn't look back, but I feel her in my head again. Don't look too long. They're still here. I jerk back, my pulse racing, and hurry to catch up with her. What were those names? I ask, my voice hoarse. Who were they? Echoes, she says, her voice soft, almost sad. They thought they could leave, too. Leave? I stop, grabbing her arm, forcing her to face me. Her skin is warm through the suit, too warm, and I feel that jolt again, like touching a live wire. What does that mean? What happened to them? Her eyes meet mine, and for a moment, I see something pain, maybe, or regret, but it's gone as quickly as it came. They became part of Dash, she says, her voice barely above a whisper. Just like you will. Her voice in my head, soft and inevitable, and I let go of her arm, stepping back, my heart pounding. I'm not staying here, I say, but my voice lacks conviction. The station shakes again, the heartbeat louder now, vibrating through the floor, through my bones. You don't have a choice, she says, turning away, her silhouette sharp against the pulsing walls. None of us do. We reach an escape pod, its hatch open, glowing faintly in the dark. Leia stops, turning to face me. Her face is close, too close, and the air between us crackles, charged with something I can't name, fear, desire, or something darker. Her lips part, and for a moment, I think she's going to kiss me, or kill me, or both. You're not ready to leave. Her voice in my head, soft and pleading, but her eyes are hard, unyielding, like they're seeing through me to something else. Get in, she says, her voice real now, urgent, cutting through the alarms. You don't have much time. Time for what? I ask, my voice breaking, my hand shaking as I grip the edge of the pod. What's happening to this place? To you? She doesn't answer, just pushes me toward the pod, her touch firm but gentle, a contradiction that makes my head spin. Is she saving me? Or sending me to my doom? I climb into the pod, my hands trembling, and she leans in, her face inches from mine. Her scent overwhelms me, metal and jasmine, and I feel her voice in my head one last time. You'll come back. You always do. The hatch seals, and the pod launches, the station shrinking in the viewport as I'm flung into the void. The alarms fade, but that heartbeat follows me, pulsing in my chest, in my mind, relentless. I'm alone now, floating in the darkness, but I'm not sure I'm free. Was this a mission? A dream? Or is my mind still tethered to Dash, to her? I check my communicator, and it crackles to life, unprompted. Static hisses, then a voice cuts through, faint and distorted, not Leia's but hers all the same. Corian, you're still here. The stars blur outside, and I feel a pulse under my skin, glowing faintly, beating in time with hers. I press my hand to my chest, and the glow spreads, warm and alive, like a promise or a chain.